Now, the next one that I think is important is this idea of a flywheel, right? Maybe I will mispronounce it, by the way. Just let me know, or misspell it. But the point is, you probably know what that is. You have heard about it. But basically, you want to have a system where it grows on itself, right? So let's say it's a circle, right? And like the more of this thing that you do, right, the more it comes back to here, and then it continues, and then the more it grows and kind of it compounds on itself, right? You can think about it like as a snowball, right? If you push it to the top of the mountain, but then you push it down, it will kind of compound on itself, because the more the mass it gets, right, and speed, the faster it becomes even, right, and more speed it has, and then the faster it keeps getting mass, and then the faster, so it compounds on itself, right? You get the point. But why this is important for business is because there's flywheels in any business, but it either works against you or for you. And if I started again and I wanted to make 100K a month step by step, I would tell myself, try to have as many flywheels working for you as possible. For example, YouTube, right, and client results is a flywheel. Let me explain. If I go and get results from my clients, I can talk about it on YouTube, which can grow our YouTube audience, which will bring us more clients, which can help us make more clients successful because we have more clients to work with, and that can help us to have more stories to tell on YouTube, which can attract more clients, and it can compound like this, right? Where most people, they can, let's say, do outreach to get clients, which is fine, but you can do that, get a client, not get good results for them. Now it doesn't compound. You need to do still more outreach, and each time your word of mouth becomes even more negative. So if someone sees that you reached out to them, if considering you have been in business for a long time and you have been doing a terrible job, they would see, oh, I know this person, I've heard that they are not good, right? And they won't work with you. So it's a flywheel working against you. The more cold outreach you do, the less people you're gonna reach out to and have to reach out to with time. But each time you need to do more to get the client, but each time you get the client, you don't get the good results for them. So each time you reach out, less people are gonna get back to you if they've heard bad things about you. Now, at scale, you can do a bunch of cold outreach and no one even knows that you exist. Let's be realistic, right? No one knows that I exist, right? At the big grand scale of things at all. Meaning that you shouldn't worry about it really, but you get the idea. It's not a flywheel that works with you or for you, it works against you, right? Where this is definitely a flywheel that works for you. For example, starting a community, let's say on Skool, it is a positive flywheel. Why? Because the more members you get, assuming these are the right members, right? And it's a good community and all of that. But if people join, the more members there are, the more active it becomes. The more active it becomes, the more people want to engage because there's more stuff going on. Once they post, people help them, people get back to them. There's the community helping them. Now, the more people join, and the more, because people tell their friends, the more people join the community, the more active it becomes. And the more, so like, it gets better and better and better with time, not worse and worse and worse. So if I start again, I would tell myself, get a flywheel, get something that compounds, right? For example, even as a simple idea as an email list, it is a compounding thing. Why? It won't just randomly grow itself and compound overnight, but if you capture people's emails and you constantly provide them value by emailing your list, for example, then not only you can provide them value one time, but for as long as they don't unsubscribe, you got their email one time, you can email them 50 times or 100 times over the next year, so that you have that many opportunities to give them value, so therefore they might buy something from you, refer a friend, etc., and basically become a client of yours so you can make money if that's your goal, right? So yeah, that's how it can be a flywheel, right? But if you don't do that, then like it doesn't compound for you because you don't have people's emails, you have no way to follow up with them, to contact them, to keep reminding people about you, etc. So this is another example of flywheel, and again, there's a bunch of flywheels that work against you, so you just need to ask yourself, like, if I had a flywheel, like what flywheels I have in my business and works against me? What's the thing, the more I do that, the worse it gets, right? For example, one of the most common things we see is people don't get good results for their clients and good experience, meaning the more clients you get, right, the harder it is for you to fulfill, the worse job you do, the more people are unhappy and they don't get the results, then it becomes harder to get new clients because people talk bad things about you and the word of mouth basically spreads, and now you need to get these new clients where that most of the marketplace doesn't trust you, right? But even if they do and you get them, you still have more clients, which makes it even more difficult for you to help the other clients. So like in that situation, one of the worst things that you do, this is what I've learned from some others, I watched a video from years ago that really resonated with me, is like, and we've seen this work in practice, right? When I work with clients, the worst thing that you can do if you get clients that everyone is complaining all the time and you're not trying to improve it is to get another client, right? Because like you are just making the problem bigger. But if you have good client results, people tell their friends, the more they'll tell their friends, the more people want to join, the more people join, they get amazing results, then it's a positive flywheel, right? So one of the biggest and most important flywheels, I think, is that client results. That's how like we grow to this point. Most of the traffic was from word of mouth, which is crazy, right? So that's what helped us, right? And if we imagine we had the negative, like we literally made this money because people telling good things to other people. I'm not saying this to brag, that was the reality. Now imagine the opposite, right? Like people telling actively to not buy our stuff. It would be, I wouldn't come even close to this, right? Because it would be so hard. So that's a flywheel that worked for me. That's why I was able to do it, right? Using AI sometimes can be a flywheel, right? What else? Personal branding is a flywheel tool. The better your the more content you make. Usually, the more your audience grows. The more audience you grows, the more people see your new content. If it's good, the more it grows. So, like creating content, personal branding is one of the most favorite and most powerful, flywheels as well. So, I would consider having a flywheel. If I start again, I would say get into content, start posting personal brand, care about clients. Don't get into something that you see. The more you do this, the worse it's gonna get. Don't trade the long term for the short term, right? Do the opposite. Trade the short term. Trade the short term for the long term. So getting flywheels is definitely important to get to 100K a month, because without them, it's gonna be very hard for you to get to 100K a month. Possible, but very hard. So ask yourself, what's your flywheel? And if you don't know the answer, then probably you either don't have one or you have one that works against you. So you need to just cut that off, right? All right, so for example, last example I will give on that. Let's say you teach people how to run Facebook ads. Well, if you don't know how to run Facebook ads and you teach that, now people join you and they don't get good results, right? Talking about that, now you need to fake that you are able to get good profit Facebook ads. Now you're just like growing a bubble that's going to just explode, right? Like, why are you doing it? You are just like, that doesn't have any foundations, right? So if you're in that situation, to scale here, go and learn how to do the Facebook ads, make your own ads profitable before teaching it to others, etc. And then if you fix that, now it's a flywheel. You know how to run ads, now you have more clients to teach to, the more clients you teach to and they get results, now you learn from the experience of running ads for them or with them, you implement it for your own ads, they do better, and now it can become a positive flywheel. So that's just a simple example on how you can think, do I have a flywheel? Am I ignoring a big problem, a big flywheel that works against me? How can I have a flywheel that will work for me, etc.? And that would be awesome. Cool. So that's about the flywheels. Okay, what do I have here as well? Cool. Yeah, number 6. Cool. Number 6, right? I hope I lost the count, but I think it was the fifth, the last one. So this one is number 6. So what I learned, and this is probably a little bit counterintuitive with the title of this video, which is how I would make 100K a month if I start again. Like, what would I tell myself? And I would tell myself that it's not about the money. Right? And I will write it down, and I know that you will say, oh, damn, another person that made the money that says it's not about the money, right? But I will share why I think that. So it's not just about the money, right? It's not about the money, right? So why I'm saying this is because I remember, like, when I was 19, I think. Now I'm 22. I said this 5 times during this video, so you probably know, but yeah. I repeated it one more time for some reason. But it's late. What time it is? Like 11 p.m., you know? So I'm recording this video, so I hope you guys won't kill me for this. But anyway, when I was 19 and I wanted to make, I remember I was thinking, what's the average salary in my country, right? And my country in Armenia, it's $500 a month. So I thought, what if I make like $1,000 a month, 2 times more than that? Right? And damn, when I remember that, I get pretty emotional. Now, a lot of these trainings are available for free with all of the templates, AI tools, private feedback for you to be able to implement in your business. And guess what? It's absolutely free. So if you're interested, the link will be down below in the description and you can apply to join there.